This is GoPro 4 Black versus Sony FDR-X1000V feature comparison, part 2. Will the new Sony give GoPro a run for its money? Let's see, but before I get into details, I want to show you a size comparison between GoPro and Sony. The GoPro is much more compact and it has a robust design. Sony is much bigger, 50% wider and 26 taller than GoPro, also it's 28% heavier. It's too big for an action camera in 2015. They also made it white, a really stupid decision from Sony. Now let's see exactly how the sizes compare to each other. As you can see, there is a significant difference. Now let's see the side of GoPro compared to the front of Sony. As you can see again, GoPro is smaller. Now let's see some more feature differences between GoPro and Sony. For those who have not seen part 1, I recommend to watch part 1 because here I will not include the differences from part 1. GoPro have a normal Wi-Fi and it does not have NFC, but it does have a nice auto connect feature after you have set up the connection. Sony have NFC, which should be much easier to connect, at least when you connect it the first time. The GoPro have an 1160 mAh battery with a 2 hours charge time when you use the wall charger. And Sony have a 12,040 mAh battery with 4 hours of charge time. That's a lot of time to wait, 2 times more than GoPro. The GoPro have a nice editing software. It's not a professional editing tool, but it's simple and have an important feature, a one-click video defishing option which will auto-correct your fisheye videos and make them straight. Sony have a crappy software, not very intuitive, and no defishing option. The GoPro can shoot 12 megapixels photo at 4:3 format, and Sony can shoot only 8.8 megapixels photo at 16:9 format, which is completely useless in the photography world, so you have to cut your photos and make them even smaller. GoPro have a smaller size and robust design. Sony have an approximate 40% bigger volume, which is not very useful when you want to mount the camera on yourself. GoPro can take long exposure night photos or star trails. Also, you can change the exposure time up to 30 seconds. Sony does not have long exposure settings and also no exposure time settings. The GoPro have a modular design which allows you to add battery packs or an LCD display. Sony have a design which does not allow battery pack extensions or an LCD display. The GoPro is not dust-proof or splash-proof without the plastic case. However, when you use it in a car or indoors, you don't need that. Sony is dust-proof and splash-proof without the plastic case, but this makes it bigger and no extensions can be added. Also, you don't want to mount your camera on your car and get the lens hit by a rock. GoPro does not have an optional live view remote. You can use the Wi-Fi function, but a live remote will be much useful. Sony have an optional live remote, but it's very expensive, $150 which is too much for a remote. GoPro have a time-lapse feature which allows you to make movies from photos, also with exposure time and interval settings. Sony does not have a time-lapse feature and the interval photos are limited to 2.2 megapixels, also with no manual exposure settings. The GoPro does not have a GPS included, which is not very useful, but for some it may be. And Sony comes with a GPS. Now I want to show you a big problem with the Sony camera design. You can wear the GoPro on your wrist like a watch and film yourself very easy or anything around you without rotating the camera. Sony looks really weird on your hand, unstable and hard to film yourself or anything around you. I really don't understand this stupid design for an action cam. As you can see here, GoPro sits nice on your chest, you can tilt up or down. And Sony again makes you look completely stupid with that stick facing forward from your chest. You also can easily hit the camera with your hand when you are skiing or doing other activities. And now the last one. You can mount your GoPro on your helmet and looks nice and stable. But Sony again have an unstable mount and you will look like a rooster with that crest on your head. I think Sony fails big time with this camera, just like they did before with the other ActionCam models, and probably will find this camera at a discounted price after 2 or 3 months. That's it for now, and don't forget to watch the part 1 if you want to see an important information about the Sony image stabilizer. Thanks for watching, and don't forget to comment below or subscribe if you want to see more reviews. Thanks.